going to take, first thing we're going to do is put the mag release in. Retaining pin spring goes in, it goes in the front, and then the spring in the rear here. This little clip goes back towards the frame. This is what holds it in. Put it in the frame. Slide it in, just hold it in with your finger. Take you a small screwdriver, push in on the, let go of it, locks it in place. Okay, and then we're going to put in the sear, the disconnector, sear pin, sear spring. Or I'm sorry, no, we'll put the hammer in first. Take the hammer, slide it in the frame like that, and just pull back till the holes line up. Put the hammer pin in. There you can push forward, and you're on the hammer reset spring or return spring is engaged. Okay, now we're going to put in the sear, the disconnector, and the sear spring, and this is the pin that holds it all in. First thing you do is take the sear, sit it in the frame, sometimes you need to use a small screwdriver to get it up angled right, or a punch. There we go. Get it up in there, and then just line the holes up or get them close. Take the disconnector, this little tab goes outward. Yep. Bring it up, bring it in, get the holes closed. Take the pin, start it, there, get it close, then you can back the pin out and put in the sear spring. Put the sear spring in, push the pin in. Now you can take a screwdriver and take the sear spring and push it down underneath the pin in the frame that holds the holds tension on the spring. Then you just take and you can pull forward on the sear and move the trigger up into its where it's in the rest position. Okay, next thing we're going to do is install the decocker. The decocker is the retaining bushing and back. What I do is I take a pair of needle nose pliers, hold it like this, take it back to the frame, get it over the hole. Hold it with my finger when I flip it over. The spring has a little Z-bend in it. You just lay it in the, well, might help if I put the decocker on. Lay the decocker on, take the spring with the Z-bend and sit it just like that. Then you can take a screwdriver and just move the spring up, push down, and set it in the hole there. And that's got the decocker in position. Now the next thing we're going to do is put the trigger bar, and it gets a little tricky. I've kind of found a little way of doing it that helps a little bit. Start the trigger down through an angle, nicely slide it in at an angle. What you've got to do is get this bar tab here on this part of the frame. So if you leave the trigger up like this and then push up as you bring the trigger down into the frame, it'll pop right into place. Then you just move the trigger bar back, get it in position. Take the hammer pin or trigger pin, put it through, get it started. Then take the slide release, slide lock lever, get it in place, and the pin goes right through there. Okay. And one thing to take note, there's flat spots on this pin, 2 grooves cut in, and it's for the locking block to go in. They have to be on the bottom, and we'll adjust that with a screwdriver when we get to that point there. Put the trigger bar spring in, put it in the frame, bring it back, put it in the notch on the trigger bar, and that holds it up against the frame and keeps it in where it's in contact with the disconnector. Next thing we're going to do is put in the hammer strut mainspring. Angle it into the hole and just take it up and towards the back. It'll ride up on the trigger or the hammer and go right where it needs to go. And then I just take a 7/16 deep well socket, get a good grip on it, give it a push, and it locks right into the little groove there. That you can see, you got tension on the hammer. You can check the decocker. Everything seems to be working fine. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put the locking block in. Like I said, look for the flat spot. Get those on the bottom, and then when you set the locking block in, I hold the spring on with my finger like this. You take it. This part goes down over the trigger, and you let it slip. Hold the pin in place. And sometimes you have to get this pin right. Turn it a little bit. There, it drops right down in there. You can tell when it's in the right spot. If you don't have this right, it'll actually go down in there, but there'll be a little bit of the locking block showing on this hole. It won't be clean through there, and you'll have it just will not go back together. This, put it in the exact opposite. You take it out. Just take it, turn it clockwise as you push in. Get it to the other side. Keep turning it clockwise, and it'll lock right into place. Take the grip panels, lay them on. I don't have the slide assembled. I'm still working on it. So when I get it finished, I'll put the breech block in and get the pins driven through, and I'll show you the assembly on that. And I've got some grips ordered that should be here in several weeks. They're coming from Budapest, Hungary, of all places, but they're nice red walnut stained checkered grips with the Sig P6 logo on one. It's a Sig Sauer here and P6 logo on this side. Yep. And that's how it's done. Got any questions, just post them, PM me, whatever, and thanks for watching.